Yo, 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 what is good, my fellow wrestling fans and party people across the world? This is going to be a very special edition of the show tonight. It's not a traditional Clash of Champions episode. It's going to be an extended Clash of Champions special where we're going to be doing a WrestleMania countdown and some more WrestleMania predictions. And I'm going to continue to crap over WWE's whack ass creative. But in any event, you guys know who I am. You guys know who I am. It's your boy Konscious Kurt, aka Kurt GPT, the moral conscience of America, straight out of 1986. And I have a very special guest for you guys today. He is trained professional wrestler, action DJ extraordinaire, and also close friend of the family. I give you guys DJ 47.
Yeah. What up, it's your boy DJ 47, aka Willie Live, body slamming people all across the world. I'm glad to be on this podcast with you once again to talk about our favorite topic, that's wrestling. Even though we don't agree so much of what's happening this weekend, but you know what? Agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We can talk about these things peacefully, even if we don't see things the same way and we don't hate each other for it.
I don't know. Yeah. I might want to come out to Atlanta and body slam you. Are you in Atlanta or are you in New York?
Hell no. I live in New York now. I left Atlanta like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Might have to take a trip to New York to body slam you if I don't agree with you. You know what I mean?
Go ahead. Bring it on. Bring it on. You can't put me through anything worse than this whole Pat McAfee bullshit, so I can handle anything. Yo, son. Yeah, son. I'm sorry. For the last year, I've been doing my best to, like, in many ways defend WWE. Like, say, oh, they're just going through a creative rough patch. People are injured. Things happen. It'll be okay. By WrestleMania season, everything will be great. And this bullshit they pulled with Pat McAfee, putting him into the Cody and Randy Orton feud, it is a reflection on how hard their creative has fallen off since WrestleMania last year. Like, that is the lone reason why, like, I really don't care about the Cody and Randy match anymore. And it pains me to say that because it's one of the main events. It's like a match I've been wanting to see for years. Everybody else wanted to see for years. A simple story they had in their lap. And what did they do? They fucked it all up.
Okay, did they fuck it up, WWE, or it does it go above their head? Because what I'm hearing is TKO got involved and they act like they know what they're doing by throwing all these celebrities. You know, I mean, look at, we even got Cameron coming into the show, but that's a little later.
So stupid. Yeah, so stupid, but that's another story.
You know, is it WWE, is it Triple H, or is it TKO?
I'll say this. Regardless of who it was, if it was Triple H, if it was Ari Emanuel, if it was Bruce Pritchard, or if The Rock is like dipping his little hands into everything, anybody who came up with this idea, approved of it, and thought it was a good idea in the first place, they should be smacked in the face. Every single last one of them. Because this is ridiculousness to the 10th degree, son. Like, I've seen dog shit storylines before, but to make this as a part of one of the WrestleMania main events, there is no excuse for this. No excuse.
Yeah, like I will give the benefit of the doubt. When he walked into the ring, it wasn't even a shocker. He was wearing the RKO shirt, RKO shirt, so we already know what he's about to do. It's not like he did the move and then removed his shirt to have an RKO show. You know, like the Austin 360 and Mike Tyson situation.
Yeah,
Mike Tyson. Yeah, it's like you didn't even try to surprise us. You know, so I thought that was you know, even his promo when he's like doing everyone's catchphrase, like don't do that. But I have faith in the two wrestlers in that match that's going to still put on a classic. I think it's going to be a classic match. It might get a little funny towards the end, but I think we're still going to get a great match out of these two.
Honestly, even if the match is still good, they ruined this. Like, even if the match delivers, it's too late. Like, I really do not care about this match anymore because they made it not about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton anymore. It's about Cody Rhodes against Pat McAfee, when nobody freaking asked for Pat McAfee's ass to be in this damn storyline in the first place. So, yeah, for one, this whole black cloud lady, like, hanging over it, and the fact that you know Pat McAfee and also Jelly Roll, they're going to factor into the finish. So I'm like, yo, just get that match over with. In all honesty, that match shouldn't be the main event. Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan should be the main event of night one. Yeah, because this is some fuckery.
You tell me Brock Lesnar and Obi Finn shouldn't be the main event?
They're on night two, though. They're on night two.
Yeah, but you could have just not put them on night two and put them on the main event and all like that. You know what I mean?
Whatever, yeah. But as far as how the card stacks for night one, if any match should be the main event of night one now, I think it should be the Women's World Title match.
Those two women over there, I don't know, man. Do they do? If there's some rumor behind the scene where they don't like each other because they hitting hard, yo.
Yo, they're
I
not
mean,
fucking around. I gotta say, this feud got a lot better over the last month. Like, it had a slow start, but over the last month, they really stepped up, like, the violence, stepped up, like, the physicality. It's, like, pretty much on site, like, when these two
yo,
come at each other.
on
But I like
site,
it. I fucks with it.
on site is the key word. I mean, when you heard that headbutt, you heard
Oof.
that.
Oof.
I heard it. I had to rewind. I was like, ooh. I even
That
had
was
to
rough,
rewind
son.
that. I'm like, that,
Yeah, it
that,
was
that
rough.
that's not staged. That's real. That when you hear that's real. That's real. Have you seen Liv Martin? Did you see that?
Of course.
Let's,
She's been doing the media rounds, like, the last, like, couple days. I've been seeing her, forehead all the time. Yeah, she just said it doesn't matter, though. She still looks pretty. And I
yo,
couldn't agree more.
I tell you this. Like that last segment on Monday when she came out to kill her, it's like either she's a really good actor or she's pissed off.
Well,
Because Liv Morgan,
she did
go
start
ahead.
taking acting classes. She was in that movie last year that she, filmed, and yeah, she's
Yeah.
been also taking acting classes. So yeah, it would make sense.
But I mean, I can understand that she's really pissed. But if she's not and she's doing a hell of a job, and who wins that?
Ooh, there's so many different ways this could play out, but as a fan of this woman, I hope and I do think that Liv Morgan's gonna win the title back.
Yeah, I think she has a pretty good shot. I mean, to me, even rewind this a little bit when you went off about Pat McAfee and all. A lot of people don't like that, and a lot of people just upset at WrestleMania. But after you talked about Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes and Pat McAfee, and then you just threw the women's match off. I gotta say that to me the card is stacked. I think they got great matches lining up and all like that.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. The card on paper looks great. Even with the way the build is gone, for the most part, the card itself looks great. And in all honesty, I think it's a stronger card than last year was. Like, if anything's gonna be the reason why this card ends up being good, if it ends up being good, it'll be the talent. Because yeah, the creative hasn't done them too many favors in the last few months. So I have enough faith in the talent that they'll be able to pull it off in the end. But yeah, the road to getting here, I have to admit, has been rough. And to the point where, like, this is the first time in years I can honestly say, like, I don't really care about WrestleMania the way I used to, and it doesn't really feel like WrestleMania the way it usually does in past
Yeah.
years.
The only negative to me, which is still was great, but I just think that every match had a pull away in the last couple of weeks. Everyone's always coming to pull away. The Brock and Obi Femi, people's always coming out to stop them. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, people's coming out to stop it. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, people's coming out to stop it. It's like every match is like the same thing. They're attacking each other.
Yeah, it's a
You know?
brawl, and the security has to get between them. They beat up the security, then they start fighting some more. Yeah, I write weekly reviews about Raw every week for PW Torch, and yeah, every time I write these reviews, I'm like, is it just me, or does like every segment have a brawl or something where security has to get involved and
Yeah, like,
security gets beat up?
I mean, and that's the only thing. I mean, it's exciting, but it's like one person at the other person at the other person at the other person. It's like, I mean, if you're not paying attention, you're enjoying it, but then when you collect your thoughts, you're like, am I watching the same thing over and over? Because I know me personally, that's the number one rule you don't do in wrestling when you're backstage preparing. Like, you're supposed to go talk to the main event and ask them, oh, yo, are you going to use the table? If not, can I use the table? Like, you're supposed to talk about you're supposed to know everybody's matches, so you're not copying the same person.
Understood.
And it just seems like everyone's doing the same thing. I mean, the matches are beautiful that I can't wait to see, but that's the only negative I could say so far about it. Like, everyone doesn't have a creative storyline. Everyone's storyline to me is the same.
Yeah,
they all hate each other.
That's one thing. Like, yeah, the segments can be repetitive. A lot of the storylines can be repetitive, and also one big flaw WWE's had in the last year is teasing storylines and teasing angles that they don't follow up on.
Like what?
Bailey split personality, like when Bailey,
Oh, yeah.
was like,
What happened with that?
cool with Lyra 1 minute, then the next minute she's like, like threatening her and getting on her face. They did that for like a month and then they just stopped it and like you never heard about it again. And then
Yeah.
Jey Uso, they were like kind of teasing Jey Uso turning heel like in the fall. And then like there was this 1 week he lost to LA Knight and he like crashed out afterwards and like one of this crazy ass like tangent and all this shit. And then the next week he just starts teaming with his brother Jimmy and then they don't talk about it ever again. It's like it never happened. Like
It's funny even funny about that. They even came out 1 week with a brand new song.
Oh yeah, that disappeared too. Thank God.
Yeah, right. Because it sounded like it was a turn heel, right? Because it was like a brand new song. It wasn't no yeeting and all, and then it went back to the whole yeet thing.
And another thing with the Usos, like after Roman Reigns lost to Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel, like Roman was pissed at the Usos because they kind of like accidentally cost him the match. And he's like, I don't want to hear from you until the holidays. You guys are stupid. You guys never listen to me, etc. And then when Roman came back a month later, they never followed up on that. It's like it also never happened.
And it's kind of sound like the first time when Roman put CM Punk through a table, who was controlling that?
The Usos, yeah, and they haven't even talked about the Usos
Not
since.
even the Usos.
And the storyline.
There's one
Jey
person.
Jey Uso. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, controlling that.
Yeah, it's
and then
weird.
Again, and it was weird, and you thought something was going with that, but then now they're in a throwaway six-man match in the beginning of WrestleMania.
Well, I'll say that this much about that match is that with iShow Speed, I don't mind that as much because it's a random like 6-man tag mid-card match, and I'll give the dude credit. He's been doing a good job in the segments they've had him in. Like he's playing his part well. I'll give him that.
What it reminds me of is WrestleMania 3 when the British Bulldog and Tito Santana versus the Hart Foundation and Danny Davis, who used to be a referee and he screwed everybody over.
Yeah.
So that's what it reminds me.
You know what's funny? I'm actually watching WrestleMania 3 right now. I just finished the Steamboat and Savage match.
Oh, classic right there.
Yes.
But that's what that 6-man match remind me of.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's a good analogy.
So I think I'm going to call it on that one. I think he wins. He's either going to be the one who gets pinned, Speed, or he's going to one who's going to pin probably LA Knight or something like that.
The LA Knight fans are going to be mad if that happens. That's going to be fucking...
They're going to screw him over. Like they're going to do all the work. What's his name? Logan Paul and...
Austin Theory.
There you go. Logan Paul and Austin Theory is going to do all the work and somehow get a cheap shot in, and he's going to get the cover. He's probably not even going to realize he got the cover. He's probably, ISO Speed is probably going to be knocked out and not even realize that he got the win.
Interesting. Could happen. Yeah, could go either way. I'll probably pick the Usos and LA Knight, though. That's kind of what my gut says, so I'll go with that. And then also you got for night
at the end.
Yeah. Also for night one you have, or then again, honestly, now that you bring up the whole Cameron thing, maybe Cameron will play a factor in the ending.
Oh, that's right. He's part of it as well.
Maybe he'll come out with Joel Santana for old time's sake.
That segment came out of nowhere. I'm like, I remember I got a Google alert, and I'm just like, and then it disappeared. I'm like, am I right? Did I see Jey Uso Cameron? I'm like, let me just Google to see.
Yeah, I'll say this much. That was definitely no Tyson and Austin segment from '98. Not even close. That was at least believable. But yeah, this shit, you were not buying for a second that it was real.
It looked real all the way until he grabbed him and put him down and gave like that one shot. It was that one fake shot. And then he knocked out. That, to me, was over the top. The grab, when he grabbed him and pulled him, that was nice. But they should have had people stopping him from jump. He shouldn't be able to punch him or nothing. As soon as he grabbed him, security should have already grabbed him.
Yeah, Jey Uso had some weird involvement with rappers at WrestleMania. Like he had Lil Wayne perform out for him a couple years ago, and it was like a bad performance.
Yeah,
and then this happened.
Yeah, he came out and did he even perform? I don't even think Lil Wayne performed. I think
he performed for like not even a minute. He performed like a milli for not even a minute. Then Jey Uso came out. I don't know if they cut his time, but honestly, the little time Lil Wayne was on stage, I'm like, yeah, this dude's not really a good performer. He's great, don't get me wrong, but as a performer, I would not want to go to one of his concerts.
Oh, Lil Wayne?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to the Chris Brown and Usher concert. I just got to find a girl to take with me.
There you go.
Yeah, you already know. MetLife Stadium
When's that?
in August. Yeah, funny. I went to MetLife for SummerSlam last year.
Hmm, interesting. I might have to go out there.
Yeah, either there or I plan on going to Vegas for maybe Labor Day weekend. So maybe I might go to the concert when it comes to Vegas because it's gonna come to Vegas that same weekend. I've also never been to that stadium, so it'll be dope to go into it for once.
For the Vegas Stadium?
Yeah, where WrestleMania is gonna be. I never been to that stadium.
Yeah, I was there for the SummerSlam. It's pretty small to me.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
damn.
unless they closed it off for SummerSlam because they wasn't really selling tickets then. Because I got the ticket for like $11 and I was like front row.
Shit. I went to Ultra. I went to Ultra in Miami a couple weeks ago. The ticket I paid for Ultra for all 3 days was still cheaper than the cheapest ticket for WrestleMania would have been.
Yeah, the problem, and know what also the problem is about WrestleMania is Vegas is not a wrestling town. WrestleMania 9 didn't do well. Last year didn't do well.
No,
It's
last
not
year's
a
did well. Last year's money wise, it did well. Last year they broke a bunch of records. That's why they fucked over New Orleans and brought it back to Vegas again this year.
Yeah, they always break a couple of records, whatever. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not looking at the record books and all like that, but
Well, attendance wise, they did a lot better last year. They did 20,000 more last year than they're going to do this year for each night.
okay, did they do? What about the previous year? What about WrestleMania in Philly?
They did
What
like
was the comparison?
70,000. They did like 70,000.
But what's the comparison between the Philly and Vegas?
Philly was 10,000 more than Vegas was.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think and from I think they should have kept it in New Orleans. I mean, I know money talks, bullshit walks, and all, but I think they would have had a bigger crowd if it was in New Orleans and all.
Yeah, honestly, WWE's lost so much goodwill with their fans in the last year, and it's all their own fault for it. For like a lot of these fucked up business practices and like the product not being as good as it was last year. Yeah,
Well,
it's like really catching up to them now.
well, again, remember, it's a WWE or it's a TKO. TKO is the one who's setting the prices, not WWE.
Yeah, yeah, but they're also like kind of associated together. So yeah, it's kind of like they're both on the hook.
Well, it's like TKO is the tree and WWE is a branch.
Yeah, true.
Just like they had USC and all that. This is probably around the times when some people kind of miss Vince just a little bit because he's always
Nah,
about.
nah, nah. Look, I mean, look, things aren't perfect right now. I'll be the first to admit that. It's
I'm
definitely
talking
taking a
about ticket sales. He was always about bringing family. He's always about lowering ticket sales so families can attend, not all these extra stuff like that. He was always about not lowering ticket sales, but reasonable
being it
ticket sales.
affordable. Yeah.
So at least four. And that's always a thing that I've learned in business and all. How can you sell a ticket? Because usually when you go out, it's usually four people that go out, whether it's a family or a group of girls or a group of guys. It's always four or more. I mean, you may have occasionally one or two people here and there, but there's always, when you're trying to sell something, you're trying to sell that four pack.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, Vince was better with those kind of things, but just in general, like I would not be clamoring to have him back, even with that issue. Because
Oh,
especially those last few years Vince was around creatively, yeah, that shit was a nightmare, son. That shit almost pushed me away from even watching the product anymore.
I mean, rumor is he's somewhat still part of creative in the, like, he ducking and hiding. You didn't hear about that?
It's funny. Ronda Rousey actually said something about that, like right after Vince like resigned, like when the whole scandal like came out. She was saying as long as Bruce Pritchard's there, Vince will always have a say because Bruce Pritchard's kind of like Vince's,
Well, I'm not
I
even
guess,
talking about.
avatar.
I'm not even,
Avatar is what she said.
I'm not even talking about Bruce Willis. I'm talking about him talking to the people of TKO, and they still hitting him up. You gotta check that out. There's been text messages that's been deleted between Nick Khan,
That's from a few
Triple
years
H.
ago, though. That's like from a few years ago before Vince stepped down, though.
Are you sure? I'm hearing it's more
As far as
recent.
I know, it was like text where like Triple H was like thanking Nick Khan for like being the reason why he's still around because he's saying like if without you I would have been gone by now, etc. And like Vince is like fucking everything up. I sounded like it was like before like Vince officially stepped down.
Well, I recently heard it now. I don't know if it's a past tense conversation or it's now. So,
I did notice that Triple H doesn't do the post show press conferences anymore,
oh yeah, I mean, because he says the same thing over and over.
or he doesn't want the hard questions.
Oh yeah. and
Yeah.
maybe because he got booed after the whole John Cena situation.
Well, he stopped doing the press conferences before that.
Yeah, well, because
Oh,
go
funny
ahead.
enough, they stopped doing the press conferences. The first show I noticed they stopped doing the press conferences was SummerSlam when Brock Lesnar came back because they probably didn't want to be questioned about him being tied to the lawsuit and all that. I noticed that's when they stopped doing the press conferences after the PLEs.
Yeah, who knows? Because they said they wanted to be around the fans and all like that.
Yeah,
There's always a rhyme and reason for everything they do. But let's get back to this WrestleMania.
fair enough. Let's do it.
I gotta hear who you going for, who you not going for. I already know you hate creative, and so where we go from here? Are we gonna start with night one?
Yeah, we already started with night one. We talked about Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan, also the six-man tag. So yeah, we might as well continue. A match on night one, even though this match was thrown together out of injuries and whatnot, the match I'm looking forward to is Seth Rollins and Gunther.
Yeah, yeah. We got it was a happy coincidence. It's sad that a lot of people is injured. Either Bronson Reed, that's my guy right there, yo.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
was bummed
guy.
out that he got hurt because he got hurt like right before WrestleMania last year and missed it, and this year, like literally, like when he's right about to make it to WrestleMania, he gets hurt again. Yeah, it's fucked
Yeah.
up.
Um, but yeah, this is gonna be a good match. They both are quality wrestlers and all. I wish Gunther had more to say about why he's attacking him. He basically like, I don't even know why I'm attacking you. I'm just doing it.
And honestly, this is a better match for Gunther for WrestleMania than Rey Mysterio would have been. No disrespect to Rey Mysterio, and it would have still been a good match, but for like what role Gunther's been on the last few months, I feel like a match with Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania, I don't feel like that would be like using him to his full potential for like the story they've been telling with him.
Yeah, I know. Brock Lesnar was in their mind too, but I'm sure they're gonna eventually wrestle each other. But I prefer. I was always hoping it was gonna be over Femi and Brock, and that, especially when they teased it at the Royal Rumble and all.
Oh
So
yeah, we'll get into that later. But as far as Gunther and Rollins, I think the match will be kick ass. But I think Braun Breaker's probably going to return and screw over Seth Rollins, and then Gunther will win, and that'll set up Rollins and Gunther. I'm sorry, not Rollins and Gunther, Rollins and Breaker for Backlash.
okay, I can see that. Oh, you don't think they won't save it for SummerSlam?
Rollins and Breaker. If apparently Breaker's cleared to return, but they didn't want to rush it because of like how I guess like how close it was to WrestleMania. So I could see a scenario where he returns, yeah, this weekend, and then yeah, he cost Rollins the match.
I mean, if it happens, it happens, and if they do it for Backlash, I would just think if they do it for Backlash, they have something bigger for both of them at SummerSlam, or they'll probably drag it to SummerSlam. But I don't think they'll drag it to SummerSlam, right? Backlash all the way to August.
Who knows? Anything's possible, but um, I was kind of looking forward to that match, like when it looked like they were going to do it coming out of the Royal Rumble, but then Braun Breaker got hurt right after that, so it kind of went out the window. So yeah, having it a Backlash should be cool, but this match should be great. And Rollins loses nothing by losing to Gunther. This whole feud was just thrown together and whatnot. So yeah, it's not that serious if he loses. And Gunther, even though they haven't really capitalized it capitalized on it 100%. He still should not be losing, considering that he just retired John Cena a few months ago, and AJ Styles
Yeah,
for that matter.
yeah. I it's not like when Brock Lesnar broke the streak.
No, it's not.
It's
It's not.
it's not. I don't know. I think they thought that he can pull it off, but he probably. I mean, he's a good talker, but he probably needs a Paul Heyman to amp up the whole making this guy tap. I mean, making John. I mean, he made John Cena retire and tap, even though he didn't, we all knew he was going to retire. So it was kind of like a lame story.
Yeah,
I made him.
and honestly, in some ways, in hindsight, maybe they should have let Cena win that match.
Yeah, especially that because
Yeah,
because you didn't retire John Cena. John Cena told you for over a year he's retiring. So, like, how can you get all these brownie points? I guess that's probably why they made him tap, because it's like we already know who's going to retire, so let's make him tap.
yeah. I'm just grateful I got to be there at SummerSlam, like right after he turned babyface again, and him and Cody had that great match. Yeah, I was so honestly, I think that's the best match I've ever seen live in person.
Well, we haven't talked in a while, so then I never even got a chance to ask you, what did you think of the John Cena farewell tour?
It had its moments. The heel turn, it was a great moment when it happened, but then the aftermath of it was garbage. But the moment I will always give props to, that whole Elimination Chamber show was fire. And I was grateful that I was like there, like right after he turned babyface, and I was there, like, at MetLife for that match with Cody at SummerSlam. And they more than made up for that match they had at WrestleMania. That match was great that they had at SummerSlam. And then, yeah, that match with Logan Paul was good. The match with AJ was also great. It was cool that he won the Intercontinental title for a little while and did that stuff for Judgment Day. Yeah, it had its moments. It wasn't perfect, but I can't say that it was bad.
What I got out of it was like if you're a performer, like a singer and all, and you're doing a farewell tour, you're going out there performing your greatest hits, and
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what he did. Everyone's complaining about the whole Brock Lesnar match. It's a replay of SummerSlam when he
but that did
destroyed.
suck, though. I'll be honest, that did suck. At SummerSlam 2014, it worked, but in this scenario, yo, that was whack. That was mad whack, son.
I mean, to me, it was what it was. I assumed that was going to happen. I assumed. Uh, um, he said he wanted to fight. He wanted to wrestle. Everything was this old school wrestlers. It wasn't nothing to have a strong storyline. Nothing like that. He was just going off doing his greatest hits. He faced Randy Orton, CM Punk, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar. These are all, and then he'll throw in a Logan Paul and a
And
Dominic.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, but that's what I got out of it. I didn't expect in the beginning, but that's what I got out of just him turning heel. Exactly. Remember, he was a heel in the beginning,
He
of his
was.
career. So I think he was just doing a little bit, and I already knew he was going to turn face one of those times. I know he was
Everybody
going
knew he
to.
was turning face eventually again before he
Yeah, yeah,
retired.
yeah.
Everyone could see
So
that coming.
I just thought he just gave you 20, 25 years of John Cena in 1 year, like that. I didn't think you should take his story seriously. I think, he was just there to give you his greatest hits and call it a day.
Yeah, I hear that. It's funny. Cena got announced as the host for WrestleMania before Gunther even had a match. I was about to say the man who retired, John Cena, wasn't going to be on WrestleMania, and John Cena, who's retired, was going to be on WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's
That has been
crazy.
some shit.
Because he disappeared, Gunther, for a while. Like, wait,
Like a month. Yeah,
what
he was gone
happened?
for like a month.
Yeah, was there
Yeah,
any
but
reason for that? They had nothing for him, or he got injured?
it could have been anything. He could have maybe had like a family thing he was doing and he wanted some time off, or maybe he was hurt, or maybe they didn't have anything for him. Yeah, it could have been any of those things. But yeah, so I have Gunther winning. Do you have Gunther winning too?
He has to. For everything that's going on, he has to.
I hear you. Yeah, and this next match, this one was one like when I figured they would do this match at WrestleMania like a few months ago when this feud started. I was like really amped for. But now that it's about to happen, I'm still looking forward to it in a way, but it's just not the same. Like the hype for it isn't there like the way I thought it would be. And that match I'm talking about is the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah, I can't hear you, man.
Pop up?
Yeah, I hear you now. Never mind. I hear you now.
Oh, I don't know. I guess my phone has something to do with it. Uh, yeah, yeah. I don't think AJ is selling it correctly. She's not showing up. That's why when Roman Reigns hit CM Punk with that line about being a part timer, he called out CM Punk's wife. How you gonna call me a part timer when your wife's a part timer? I don't think she's selling it good, and I think Becky Lynch, if she doesn't have a Charlotte Flair or Bailey who's really good at what they do, it kind of exposed how Becky Lynch is not as good as they make her out to be.
You mean in the ring or just in
Yeah.
general?
No, talking wise, she's good. Ring wise, no. She had a lot of sloppy match. With
Those
Nikki
matches with
Bella.
Lyra, those matches with Lyra were good. Like with Lyra Valkyria, those matches were good.
Really?
Yeah, they were good. That match at
Really?
Backlash was good. The Money in the Bank match was good. The SummerSlam match, granted, was a disappointment. I was there for it. Yeah, that match I'll admit was a disappointment.
I mean,
But there are other matches before that were
I
good.
didn't need Unreal to tell me how horrible and awkward that match was.
I don't need that
I,
show. Period. I'm not gonna even watch the next season. Yo, I'm good.
even when she was cuffed, and I'm like, wait a minute, is her hand out? And then you saw her slip. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't do
that.
something. I don't
Yeah,
agree with those matches, and I think that put her back. Lyra, I think it dropped her stock.
it
I
did.
think that
I
was
thought she should have won that match. I thought she was gonna win that match, and then when she lost, and they put her like attached to Bailey since then, I thought at least her and Bailey were gonna feud and they would have a good feud. But they've just been tag team partners ever since then.
I think we're gonna see something on WrestleMania. I think we're gonna see either Charlotte and oof, oh, Charlotte. What's her partner?
Alexa Bliss.
Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Either they're gonna split, or maybe Vicaria and Bailey is gonna split. Someone might turn
I
on.
picked them to win, honestly. Since they've been cheating lately to win, I'm picking them to win the match. And also considering that like Bailey got screwed over last year and got left off the card when her and Lyra were going to challenge for the tag titles, I feel like this year they get their moment and they're going to win. But
It's a possibility. I would have said that the Bellas would have won because that's the reason why they're back. But I don't think. I think Nikki Bella is still injured,
yeah,
and
apparently she's not cleared still.
yeah. So either, like I told you, that once you show me the whole Page thing, and I'm telling you all day, I'm like, hey, watch Page show. I didn't even know she was re-signed. I think either Page replaces her, or if she shows up to WrestleMania, Bree's doing all the work. She's just there for show. If Nikki Bella shows up, she's just there for show. She's
Yeah,
injured.
yeah. Apparently, this is why they kept Asuka and Io Sky off the WrestleMania card because apparently they were keeping Asuka and Kairi Sane as like a standby team in case Nikki and Brie couldn't do the match or if Nikki was still hurt, which
Oh,
is a
really?
stupid reason. But in any event, I
That's
still
it.
pick Bailey and Lyra to win, though. I'm going to keep my money on them.
Yeah, I can give you that, or I could still see the champions still be champions and all.
It's
Um,
possible.
but then that sucks for Io Sky. She stole the show last year, and now she's not even in the card this year.
Both women's champions who came into WrestleMania and left WrestleMania last year as champion, neither one of them are on the card this year.
Who's last year?
Tiffany Stratton and Io Sky.
Oh snap! Tiffany's not. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Uh,
so freaking weird. And yo, Io Sky's another one they fumbled since WrestleMania last year. After WrestleMania last year, there was like a point where she wasn't on the show for like over a month, and then she didn't have a title defense from WrestleMania up until that Evolution match with Rhea Ripley. The tag team stuff with Rhea was cool, but then they had the potential to do something with her and Asuka and Kyrie, and then they like didn't really capitalize on it. So yeah, they really fumbled Io big time this year.
yeah. Shockingly. I mean, did she do something backstage that we don't know about?
Triple H was even saying on that damn Unreal show, like, if I lost the whole roster, if I had at least Io Sky, then I'm good. And she's not even on the WrestleMania card this year.
I mean, I like Io Sky, but I don't think she's that good.
No, she's incredible, son. Nah, she's really. I mean, it's maybe an exaggeration what Triple H said, but as a performer, I think as far as the women, she's probably, if not the best, at least top three.
Yeah.
I got a kick out of her tag team with Rhea, though.
I don't know. It made to me it made Rhea look weak because she couldn't beat her. So it's like, can't beat them, join them. That's what I got out of Rhea. Like, wait, why
I
is she
see.
in this? And the sad thing about Rhea Ripley, she's only in this match is because Bianca is still injured.
Yeah, figure. But yeah, we'll get into that in a few minutes. But as far as the tag match, I have Bailey and Lyra winning. But back to AJ and Becky real fast. Clearly, since AJ's gotten the better of Becky at every turn, like every match they've had together, AJ's beaten her with the Black Widow. It's high time in this case that Becky gets her win back, and she is going to.
Um, Damn. I mean, I guess Becky if AJ disappears, but I would go for AJ, even though she probably won't. But I'm going for AJ Lee to win, so she can move away from Becky and go for another. I was really hoping that it would have been Bailey and AJ at WrestleMania, but they
I
already,
didn't see that happening. Yeah, I didn't see that happening.
yeah, I know because you still got the story that won't end and all, but I would hope she wins and move past this whole Becky thing. I don't. I think that it's a style clash. I don't like them in the ring together. And again, like I said, I think it just when you don't have someone who's really really good in the ring, like a Charlotte Flair, it exposes Becky, and that's just my opinion. You know?
I thought their match at Elimination Chamber was cool, and I think they could even possibly have a better match here. Or there's a chance they could. But I feel like for the way this has gone, I feel like this is probably the end of the feud, and it should be the end of the feud. And with that being said, it should end with Becky finally getting her win, considering that she's lost to AJ 3 times already. It's time for kind of Becky to get her win back. So I feel like that's the logical ending to this feud. And yeah, Becky regains her title as a 3 time champion. But I will say it's going to be nice to see the women's IC title defended at WrestleMania for the first time and a marquee match at that. So it's a good look.
Yep. I'm still. I believe you're right, but I'm still going for AJ Lee. I think she's gonna win.
But regardless, this feud needs to end. This feud needs to
Oh yeah, yeah,
put to bed by tomorrow night, and they both need to move on to other feuds.
yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so we got that match. Also, we have night one Jacob Fatu against Drew McIntyre. And in hindsight, looking back at it now, they should have kept the title on Drew McIntyre and did like a 4 ways to the main event. Yeah, looking back at it now, yeah,
Uh,
that was a bad move on their part to take the belt off of him.
Well, I agree with that. I like him as champion, but I don't agree with the Fatal 4 Way. I was granting thinking that's what they were gonna do. I like the separate. I like the X out Pat McAfee. I still like Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, and I do like Drew McIntyre versus the Wolf. I do like that. You know, I just hate that it cost Drew McIntyre the title and all like that. But I like them as champion. You know,
Yeah, the
um,
show kind of felt like it was freshening up, like it was something different. Like we finally had like a heel champion, like a champion other than Cody and John Cena or Roman for the first time in a while. So it was like a nice breath of fresh air. And yeah, they took it off of Drew to put it back on Cody. And yeah, Cody and Randy's an appealing match, or at least was an appealing match. But yeah, they just had to ruin it. So like yeah, in hindsight, they should have just kept the title on Drew. And yeah, a 4 way I would have been cool with. A 4 way would have been fun. But yeah, it didn't work out that way.
yeah. Drew as champ, and one thing I didn't like about the whole storyline of that was, the stipulation was if he won, Cody can't challenge for the title, and all of a sudden he's challenging for the title. I didn't like that. You know, I don't care. If Drew screwed him. This thing. That's the hindsight of it. Cody should be more prepared for that and find a way. He had the Royal Rumble to win. He had elimination chamber to win, which he shouldn't have been a part of because he can't challenge for the title. So that's the only thing I didn't like about that. How they just screw all of a sudden. Oh, now he's going to defend the title and it's going to be at SmackDown, and I didn't like that of the storyline. For that
I hear you.
He should have won the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, at least for that, I guess. But then again, how would you put Randy Orton in the story? I guess
Yeah,
I don't know.
Randy winning Elimination Chamber was like the way to implement him officially.
Yeah.
But
So
I
who
have
you
Jacob.
got?
I got Jacob Fatu winning. I think he's gonna pull it off.
Hmm. Do I have Jacob? I mean, he's been getting his ass whooped every week, so yeah, I think I'm going with you on that. I'm going on. I'm saying Jacob's going to win.
I think it'll be a crazy ass like wild match because if it's anything like that match Drew had with Damian Priest at WrestleMania last year, yeah, shit's gonna be wild.
Which I'm like, wait a minute, isn't it the exact same thing as last year? That's what I was
More,
thinking too.
more or less, yeah, more or less, except for Damian Priest and Jacob Fatu that Drew's feuding with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it should still be a wild match. Jacob Fatu, I think, will definitely win, and the match that I could care less about now, even though it's the main event, the match like I could really not care at all about because of WWE's incompetence. We have Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. and Randy Orton's only third WrestleMania main event, believe it or not.
I know. That's so it
Yeah,
was Triple
crazy.
H, Randy Orton, then it was the triple threat at WrestleMania 30.
And this one,
And this one, you know?
there were times where he fought for the title, but it wasn't like the main event. It was like the co-main event,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Like the
WrestleMania
triple
24 being one example.
yeah. Well, it's hard when you're next to John Cena who's selling tickets, you know.
Yep.
But
Also Batista for that matter.
so who do you got on that match? You think
Uh,
Randy's taking 15?
Well, considering that Pat McAfee said if Cody wins, you'll never see me on WWE TV again, and the fact that he's the centerpiece of this storyline, and there's the rumors going around that they're going to do like a tag match at Backlash with like Jelly Roll and Cody against Orton and Pat McAfee. Yeah, I think Randy Orton wins. I could really care less because they made me not care about this match at all. So yeah, I think Randy wins. It's funny, and I'm going to go to watch WrestleMania at a bar tomorrow night, the first night at least, like a bar down the street from the Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that last year. Actually, it was lit as fuck up in there.
My thing is I'm going to Orlando tomorrow for 2 days, so I ain't gonna see WrestleMania until Monday. Ugh.
Oh shit! You going to Orlando for like a gig?
No, my stepdaughter's out there, so we're gonna spend time. We're gonna do a whole family thing, Disney and
Okay,
everything.
cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Sounds good. I might go to Disney when I go to EDC in Orlando in November.
yeah. And then due to the fact that I don't really have social media right now, so it helps not knowing what's happening and all.
Yeah,
But
true that.
Google likes to pop up and tell you things like, "Come on, guys, stop that."
Yeah, but yeah, I got Randy winning. Screw it, he'll win.
You got Randy. I got Randy on that too.
Yeah, yeah, it's so crazy. This match was like so perfect. It looked very promising. That one segment where like Orton turned on Cody was great. It was well done. But just ever since then, it's been all downhill.
Yeah, I love that. I was jumping for joy. Like, yes, he's finally turning healed and everything like that. And I'm not gonna sit there and say Pat McAfee was a smart idea to do. I just don't think that they had any saying on it. You know,
Yeah, like if that's the case, yeah, I can't fault Triple H for it, but we don't know. But regardless of whose idea it was fucking horrible.
what's that saying? This man says, "Turn chicken shit chicken
Chicken
salad."
salad.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is possible in this case. I don't think it's possible in this case, to be honest.
So are we going to night two now?
We're going to night two, and the way night two is going to open is with Obafemi against Brock Lesnar.
This is the match I can't wait to see, but I think it's going to be a quick one. I think Obi he's going to beat him. It's going to be a quick match because Brock Lesnar matches is always quick. It's a
Yeah,
simple
but
suplex, and boom.
it's crazy how hot Oba has gotten ever since this feud started. Holy shit. I think he has the most momentum out of anybody going into WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I got my little baby. I got him doing this.
Yeah, I
He
do
be
that shit all the.
laughing.
Yeah, I was joking with my podcast partner. I was thinking I was gonna walk in that way to work.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Though.
Yo, yeah, it's crazy how hot, and he's a great promo too. Not even the presentation, the look, and like how good he is in the ring. He's also a great promo. That promo he did on Raw Monday was top notch, son.
Yeah. It was like, cause I was thinking even like, oh, maybe Paul switches and now he's with him, but I'm like, oh, don't do that again, because you already turned on
Yeah,
Brock already, and you already did it last year at WrestleMania.
yeah, we don't need to see that. I was picking up until recently Brock Lesnar to win. I even picked him on my show the other day. But like now, considering how much momentum Oba has right now, it would be a shame if the match ended that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would suck. That would suck. I mean, even if they do a rematch at SummerSlam and Oba beats him there, that'd be great. But honestly, with how hot Oba is right now, I feel like you got to pull the trigger on him.
yeah, yeah. One thing I could say right now is so many guys coming up that's doing big things. There was like Braun Breaker is, we would say, the future. But then all of a sudden, you got this guy coming out of nowhere, Obi Fanning, was like, damn, he's the future. And I even give it to he'll probably need some time is Trick Williams. They can't make him a heel. They don't want him to be a heel. They love
We'll get
him.
into that prediction in a few minutes, but yeah, I want Oba to win. I hope he does win, but I have a feeling that Brock's gonna win.
You think Brock's gonna win?
Part of me, yeah, I really think he is. I feel like because Oba's kind of gotten the better of Brock at every turn during this feud,
Yeah.
so I feel like they're kind of setting up a Brock win. But if Brock does win, they need to do a rematch sometime down the road, and Oba needs to beat him there because
Oh,
as hot as Oba is right now, you have to capitalize on it. If they just have Brock beat him once and they never go back to it, then yeah, they deserve to be called out. Like if they fuck up in that way, then it's clear that WWE's like creative highs are far behind them. The highs they had from 2 years ago, yeah, that shit is far in the past. If they do that dumb shit.
but here's the thing: if Brock wins, why? What's the point of Brock winning? I don't mind him winning, but what's the point of him winning when he won't be there Monday? What do you do with Oba Femi after that?
That's a
He
good
lost.
question. Yeah,
He has to
I
win.
just yeah, but I'm starting to feel like that Gunther and Paul Heyman thing, where like Paul Heyman owes Gunther a thank you. That thank you
Yeah,
might possibly be a match with yeah, Brock
yeah.
Lesnar. So if Brock
Mhm.
Lesnar's gonna go against Gunther, Brock has to look, I
Strong.
guess, somewhat like I guess there has to be some kind of interest in that sense, and then Brock has to be like hot going into it. So if Brock loses to Omba and then he goes against Gunther, it's kind of like not going to be as big of a deal. But then again, who cares? Honestly, who cares? Oh, like I don't really care about seeing Brock and Gunther if it happens, cool. But I feel like with how hot Obafemi is right now, you have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I honestly don't care about the Brock and Gunther. Like I don't see that. And then Gunther beating Brock, like I don't see it. To tell you the truth, Oba I could see beating Brock.
He
Just
should.
my
He should. Gunther doesn't need it, but Oba does.
yeah, and I think okay, I like Gunther, but I don't think he's selling tickets like you would probably want him to do. He's not
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar. He's not Brock Lesnar.
nah, he
It's not
doesn't have
Trump.
that aura that Brock does. Nah, I won't. I'll say
Yeah,
that much. But yeah, I still pick Brock Lesnar to win, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'm wrong on this one.
so you're
All right.
going for you're saying Brock's gonna win,
Yeah,
but
I
your
hope he does.
prediction is not that. It's not who do you want to win, but your prediction is Brock's winning.
Yeah, deep down, I think Brock will win.
Okay.
I hate
I
this.
I I think Over's gonna win, and I'm definitely satisfied whoever wins. I
Yeah,
just hope it's gonna be a good match. I mean, not necessarily a good match, but like a wow
a
type of
spectacle.
match.
It's gonna be a
Yeah,
spectacle.
yeah,
It's opening night too, and it's gonna be on ESPN. So yeah, better be a damn spectacle.
yeah.
Also, we got on night two Dominic Mysterio against the Demon Finn Balor. This one's been a long time coming, but for some reason, it doesn't really feel like as big as it should feel.
Because it should have been for the title.
Oh, the IC title? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't mind what they're doing with the IC title this year
Yeah,
anyway, but still, yeah, I would have probably maybe added to this. But I mean, I like the angle they did that night on Raw where they kicked Finn Balor out of Judgment Day. That was dope. And then Finn cost him the IC title a few weeks after that. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to this match. But yeah, it just doesn't really have that like same spark that like I guess you could say Rey
yeah.
Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio's feud had a couple years ago.
I'm a fan of both of them. I love Dominic Mysterio once he turned heel. I've
Oh
always been a
yeah,
fan of Finn Balor's in ring style. Like even me training, I studied him. Certain
interesting.
moves that he did, I studied him. Not the high flying thing because he's way lighter than me, but certain he's technical in the ring. He's very very good. He's very clean in the ring. Like another person who's very clean that they're not a big star or whatever the case is Natalia. Like if you watch them in the ring, like if you just sit there and watch them, they clean. They don't make mistakes, and that's what I like
Understood.
about Finn Balor. Who do I want to win the match, or who do I think is gonna win? Um, I don't know. I mean, Finn Balor has to win. He has to for his reputation. But I don't know why WWE keeps shitting on them. Where it's like there's never a title. Like he's never going after any titles besides the tag team titles.
Yeah, I think he'll probably win too because he's bringing back the demon character. He hasn't been the demon character in three
Oh yeah,
years, and in that match he was the demon character in. He also lost, so I think it's time for him to get a win.
he lost
The Edge
to
at,
Edge at
at
WrestleMania.
39. Yeah,
Yeah,
39.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a dumbass outcome. Yeah, there was no way that Edge should have beaten Finn Balor when Judgment Day was white hot at the time, and Edge was going to be gone from the company in a few months anyway. Yeah, that was a bad move on their part to make that
yeah,
outcome.
yeah. So the demon wins. I see that happening. You know, especially the the triple A whatever this
Triple
title's not even
A.
on. Yeah, it's not even on the line. So there's no he doesn't lose anything. Dominic Mysterio doesn't lose anything. So
Yeah,
yeah.
he doesn't. But yeah, I think Demon Finn picks up the win there, and also one night when we have Trick Williams in his first. What's up?
Before you go on, and that's another probably another reason why he lost the title because now so some reason they didn't want Finn to be a champion or whatever the case is. So by him losing the IC title, now he has if he loses, he loses. It's no big deal, you know.
But I will say, I will admit, I do like the IC title on Penta right now. I think Penta's doing a solid job with it so far.
Yeah, I like that Mysterio, especially when he won it last year. Remember how the crowd just went nuts for him last year?
Yeah,
Like,
they go
what?
nuts.
What? They were just
And it would
booing
have
him
been,
every.
and it would have been fitting because in that match, Dominic pinned Finn to win the title. So they come back 1 year later to WrestleMania, and Finn beats Dominic for the title.
I think that's the
Could have
story.
done
Well,
that.
yeah. But I think the story that's what they're trying to tell you that he beat him last year. I think they're going to tell that story.
I hear you. Yeah, and also, moving on to other matches on night two for the United States Championship, we do have Sami Zayn defending the title against Trick Williams in his WrestleMania debut. Crazy. They have four black wrestlers this year debuting at WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't want to shade, but you shade. I mean, Trick got to win. You know, um, I don't know what happened to Sami Zayn, and I think these promos is stop begging the crowd. They boom you, they boom you. You know, the last 2 weeks promo was like, yo, relax. You know, why are you so
Well,
aggressive?
well,
Go
now
ahead.
that you bring that up, what I think is going to happen, since Sami Zayn's already getting those negative reactions from the crowd, I feel like this is going to lead to, in this match, a double turn.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's already happening, but um, does Trick Williams go all full baby face, or is just the crowd likes him, the crowd likes him, and all like that? I mean, he caught my attention. I mean, I seen him even before he got to the main roster. I knew of him from NXT, even though I don't really watch NXT. And when we used to do our house shows, our independent shows in Orlando, he would always show up to
Say hi to
show
everybody.
face. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, what? I was like, that ain't him. Why he always here? You know what I'm saying? But that was always cool with him. But he's too hot. He's too hot right now to do the thing. And surprisingly, out of all the celebrities, this guy is doing his thing.
Lil
Um,
Yachty?
yeah, I like him. And look, he already took. He took that a luva kick from Sammy. I thought he did I think he did a decent fall. I think he played it off well and all. And
Okay.
I think he's doing it. I think he's on point on the mic. He knows when to shut up, when to talk, when to amp up, when to do this and that. I think he knows how to play his part in the show. That's my opinion. But I think out of so far, he's doing well. Like we kind of skipped past what's his name, Jelly Roll. To me, he's super annoying on the show. Like keep you know everybody. Hey, I just want to tell you, I need you to. listen to me and stay focused. You're the man. I'm like, shut up. Who are you? When you became the fucking mascot of WWE, man?
Damn,
You,
son.
to me, I don't. Congratulations, you lost all that weight. Congratulations, I give you props on that. But you were not a wrestler, man. And even if you were, if I was a wrestler, I'm like, yo, dude, why are you talking to me for? Like, you ain't never been in this business. You come in here out of nowhere, and you trying to tell me how to do my job. Do I go on stage and
Crazy.
tell you how to do your job? So to me, Jelly Roll so far is the most annoying one out of all the celebrities. I can deal with Speed. I think he's hilarious doing his thing. I think Lil Yachty's doing his thing. I think Lil Yachty knows his part. I don't think Jelly Roll knows his part. That's my thing. And if
Or
you
maybe
want to talk
WWE
about
just, or
if
maybe
you talk about
WWE
Pat,
just,
go ahead, go ahead,
yeah, I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say, or maybe WWE just like pushing him like in a certain way where, or like implementing him into like different scenarios in a certain way where
So
he's
many
coming off that
scenarios.
way.
Like why he keep popping up? Weren't you just feuding with on the Miz and this? How do you get to the main event when you were just in a corny ass feud?
Yeah, son. Yeah, I don't know, man. SmackDown's so garbage. SmackDown is like the most unwatchable show probably on TV right now. It's ridiculous.
I
But in
hate when
any
they keep.
event,
No, go ahead. Let's move forward. Yeah.
yeah, with Sami Zayn and Trick Williams, I think a double turn will happen where like Sami Zayn will win but like cheat, like use like do something underhanded or like unethical to come out of it, and then yeah, that'll do a double turn and they can continue the feud beyond WrestleMania until eventually Trick beats him for the title.
That's a good storyline. I didn't even think further along. You just took a, a story and stretched it to SummerSlam, where if Trick won, yeah, they might have a backlash match and then call it a day. But if Sammy wins and cheats and go full on heel, and he goes very good, man.
Because
I like that.
he just won the title 2 weeks ago. Look, it's not my idea; it's an idea I saw floating around, but it's making sense. But
It's
yeah,
a
Sammy.
throwaway. To me, it was a throwaway. It was like, I mean, this guy wasn't going to do nothing at WrestleMania. He's nothing's happening.
But I will say I'm bummed out that Carmelo Hayes got fucked over in this whole scenario because he was like one of the better parts of SmackDown the last 3 months with those like open challenges. He was doing his thing. He had like a career like bounce back, and then like 3 weeks before WrestleMania, they take the title off of him, and now he's not even on the show at all. Yeah, so I really feel for the dude.
Um, I don't know. I wasn't too. I think he was. See, the thing about what I miss about old school wrestling, everybody's not kissing everybody's ass. Everyone's a fan of everybody. When he was feuding with who the one he lost the
The
title to, the
Dragonoff.
Dragon. It was this. Oh my God, not this week. No, I'm fighting demons with myself, and no, I need you to fight because I didn't really beat you fair and square. I'm like, come on, man. It's like only
Oh shit.
yeah, I'm calling him out. It's just come on, guys. It's like screw you. I beat you for the title. When you ready to fight me, you hit me up. Other than that, I'm the champion and you're not.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But no, he was having a lot of kick ass matches, and like yeah, he was doing a good job with the title. So yeah, it was a shame that they like waited this close to WrestleMania to take it off of him. And yeah, like now he's not gonna get on the card at all. It kind of reminds me almost in a way of like 2 years ago when they wanted kind of like Chad Gable to be the one to dethrone Gunther for the IC title, and then Sami Zayn got the spot instead. I mean, it was still a good match. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it was kind of like you were kind of like bummed that Chad Gable didn't get it. So like now in this case, I'm also bummed that Carmelo Hayes got screwed over.
So is Chad Cable never coming back? Is he just gonna be the masked man and call it a day?
I have no idea. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that storyline. They need to put it to bed already. That shit's dragged on for way too long. And yeah, I'm ready to move the fuck on.
Yeah.
All right, but in any event, yeah. So I have Sami Zayn retaining, and they'll do a double turn. And yeah, Sami Zayn might as well be a heel. Like the way he's been acting lately, yeah, it's inevitable.
You need to stop talking to the crowd. Just be a heel. Why are you so mad for? You've been a heel before. You've been a great heel. Get over it. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, but anyway, let's move on. We have a six-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title. We have the June champion Penta defending against JD McDonough, Javon Evans, Rusev, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio. Yo, solid ass lineup.
Yeah. I just think I'm glad Rusev is in WrestleMania, but he does not fit in this card, this match.
They have barely been using him the last few months.
Yeah, no, it's just these are a bunch of high flyers, and they're gonna do a bunch of high fly things, and he's just gonna sit there and catch him and destroy him.
I
I
guess they
mean,
need balance. I guess they need some balance in that sense.
but it's not balanced because he's the only one. Everyone is his high flyer. The only thing I can think of is he's gonna win the match because
No,
because
I think Penta retains. I think Penta's gonna keep his title. He's doing a good enough job with it right now where I don't think it makes any sense for him to lose it.
yeah, I could see him still winning the title. I just think this is gonna be a crazy match. A
Oh,
bunch
I
of
can't
high
wait for
flyers.
it. I can't
If
wait.
if Rusev is not there to win, you saying Penta? I'm gonna say
Javon Evans.
yeah.
Yeah. I've heard the funniest story on CM Punk's interview with Matt Barnes. Like CM Punk was talking about how like everybody in the locker room calls him the OG, and Javon Evans calls him Pops. He said he didn't know how to take it at first, but then after a while it grew on him. That's hilarious. Yo, Javon
Yeah,
Evans calls him Pops. That's hilarious. Yo, it's a
yeah.
good interview though. It's a good ass interview.
That's crazy that he was born before John Cena's debut. I mean, after John Cena's debut.
Yeah, he was born in like 2004.
Yeah,
I was still in
crazy.
high school when he was born.
I was 24.
I was 17, 18. Yeah, I was 18.
Yeah,
Yeah, crazy. So yeah, I have Penta winning. If by some chance he doesn't win, Javon Evans I think wins.
yeah. I'm going with Javon Evans.
All right. So moving on, we have for the women's championship. Yeah, a match also that kind of feels thrown together because of injuries. We have Jade Cargill defending her title against Rhea Ripley.
I think Jay Carter. Only reason why she wins because they want to have her versus Bianca.
And I could see a scenario where since Jade has the baddies in her corner, Rhea has Io Sky and possibly returning Bianca in her corner.
So is she going with the baddies? Is she going to use that same name from AEW?
I don't think so right now. They haven't given them an official name, but I just kind of called them the baddies because that's like, what she was doing in AEW. So
You're not
just
the
kind of
only
call them
one.
that.
You're not the only podcast to call them that. But I'm just what I'm saying. Unless it's time to finally pull the trigger and give Rhea the title back, I think she was just put in that position just to have a match for the women's title. But it's supposed to be Bianca versus Jay Cargill.
Yeah, you kind of felt like it was going to happen like initially because they still have unfinished business. You kind of felt like that match was going to happen at WrestleMania last
Not
year.
even unfinished business. They haven't even told the story. Apparently they're still cool.
Nah, they haven't been cool ever since the whole attack happened. Like even when Jade came back, she wasn't really acting cool with Bianca.
You got to remember Bianca was more distant with Naomi because she didn't prove what she did.
But Jade still wasn't fucking with Bianca either. She even said herself that she didn't trust Bianca, and even even at Evolution, when Bianca was the referee for that match with Jade and Naomi, when Bianca raised Jade's hand, Jade looked at her like mad suspiciously.
Yeah, she's mad suspicious, but there was never no falling out. She's just wondering, like, they haven't been able to tell that story because she's surprisingly a finger had her over a year injured. This is last WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, she hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania last year. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm like,
so I feel like whatever they were going to do with that story with her, Naomi, and Jade, they got like put on ice because of the whole injury. And then Naomi gets pregnant, and Naomi's also gone. Yeah, it's crazy how many like key women they lost last year.
Well, she had the baby in March, so the only time.
I never heard anything about that. I heard that was bullshit.
Well, if you count the months, I mean, maybe not. No,
she should be having the baby around now, like because I remember she left right after SummerSlam.
No, I seen the picture. I seen the baby.
It might have been some AI shit because I don't think it's been confirmed.
Man, AI, man.
I'm worried. It gets everybody.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but I think I think it's this doesn't like really feel like a match where like a title change is gonna go down. Yeah, like I said, this feud feels thrown together. It hasn't really been good for the most part, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's like the social media, like real life back and forth they were having is like a reason why it's turned out the way it has. But yeah, just in general, this feud hasn't really hit. And I'll say this much, regardless of anything, for Jade Cargill's sake, this match needs to deliver. Like this is by far the biggest match of her career, and if it does not deliver, if it does not end up being good, then I really don't know where they go from here with her as far as like being a, champion level and like main level performer. Yeah, I don't know where they go from here if this match doesn't deliver.
My advice to her: just follow Rhea, and she'll get you through the match. Because Rhea is really, 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 really
She's
good.
great.
So if you have ego, put it to the side and follow her, and she will get you to a good match. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so it's a make or break moment for Jade. Regardless, it's a make or break moment for her. And just in general, I just think that yeah, she's gonna end up retaining. I don't see Rhea being the one to dethrone her.
Yeah. I can see
So
Rhea doing it, but I mean, will they pull the trigger? I think if Rhea wins, it's because they're fed up with Jade. She's not elevating to the level, and they need her to take a step back. That's the only how behind the scene wise I see that happening.
yeah, it's possible. Yeah, maybe the things Rhea said about Jade, like in that back and forth, were true. Who knows?
There's always elements of truth, but at the same time, they're professionals. There's they say nobody loves Jade backstage, and then all of a sudden she proves them wrong by having two people be part of her squad and all like that. I think all that.
I did. I did hear those stories before that her and Bianca like don't get along in real life. Like when they were still partners, I was hearing that
Yeah,
go
I heard
around.
that. I heard that too. Who knows and
And then
all
she
like
had
that.
some incident with Shayna Baszler like during a match, and then like they got into it backstage afterwards. I was hearing that story float around too. Like I don't know if these things are true or not, but it's come out more than once.
Because from my history of in the business, from what I heard when she was in AEW, she was always trying to learn while all the wrestlers in the back just goofing off, playing around. She'd always be at the monitor. Her and there was another wrestler, a male wrestler, and she would just try to study, 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 and ask 100 questions.
Good,
And
good.
and she felt like they were not delivering again. Oh, actually, I forgot this guy's name. Damn, I gotta remember his name because he's always shows up to the shows. He worked for AEW. More, he's a wrestler, but he works backstage. And he even said that she's trying to learn, but they don't have people educated enough to teach her or care.
Yeah,
Everyone they're goofing around. That's what made her leave to go to WWE because she wanted to learn.
I hear
So
you.
I don't know how much of the backstage is true or not with I don't like you, you don't like me type of thing. But from what I've heard, without the dirt sheets and all that, she's been always trying to learn, and she gets frustrated when people is not helping her or they don't care to learn themselves.
Makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. It could be anything, all hearsay, but I do pick Jay to retain. And on to the main event. Honestly, this match has a WrestleMania feel to it. If there's anything they've done right for the most part heading into WrestleMania, it's this main event. And that's CM Punk defending the World Heavyweight Championship against the Tribal Chief, the man who was the reason why this championship was created in the first place, Roman Reigns.
And funny enough, wasn't this accidentally put together? Wasn't it
Somewhat,
supposed
but
wasn't it supposed to be Seth Rollins and Roman and Cody versus CM Punk?
I heard that, and Paul Heyman apparently confirmed today it was supposed to be Rollins and Reigns and Punk and Braun Breaker.
So, you know, happy coincidence, and I'm glad we have this match right here. Who wins? I was listening to one of your podcasts with your other partner, and you guys don't want Roman to win because
No,
he's
we
a
don't.
part timer.
No, we don't.
I don't mind him winning. I mean,
I do.
also don't mind CM Punk retaining. It's to me is what happens the next day and then the following. You know, where does CM Punk go from there if he does retain, or if he doesn't retain? I mean, there's many different options of Roman Reigns, because obviously he's a part timer, he could always show up at any given time and fight a Braun Breaker or fight CM Punk again and all. There's so many things you can do with Roman Reigns, but what do you do with CM Punk next? Like, who does he rival with next? I would love to see a rival between him and AJ Styles. I was hoping that wasn't a one-off, but apparently AJ Styles retired. But what do you do with CM Punk if he wins, or even if he loses? What do you do with him the next day?
I could see maybe doing a feud with Gunther. Like if Gunther beats Rollins, they could do a feud with Punk and Gunther. They could
They
do
already
that
did
at
that.
least for like a pay-per-view or do. They didn't have
They
an
already-
actual feud. They only had one match. They didn't have an actual feud.
Yeah,
Their match at SummerSlam, it was a good match, but there wasn't much of a build to it at all or a feud to it at all.
um, I don't know. It's like to me, it's like, I like Gunther, but I don't see him with anyone. Like to me,
Or maybe, or maybe Dominic Mysterio. That could be a fun feud. Punk and Dominic Mysterio. They could do something up with that for like a month or.
I would
It
like to
doesn't have to
see
be a
that.
long-term feud, but they could do like a one PLE match out of it.
I like that. But are you telling me he loses to one of the biggest stars, which is Roman Reigns, and he goes to a mid card?
No, I'm saying if Punk keeps the title,
Oh,
he could
okay,
have
okay,
a
okay.
feud. He could feud with Gunther. Yeah, that would make sense. They could do a Punk and Gunther main
Oh,
event.
okay, okay. I can see the Gunther with him with the title because Gunther never got his rematch. I can see that.
Yeah, and even Dominic. Yeah, they could do like a one PLE
No, no,
title
no,
match
no,
with Punk and
Dominic, no,
Dominic.
no, no. Even now, when you're saying with him holding the title,
Yeah,
yes, I see the Dominic. I
because
see
you
the
were saying what does Punk do after WrestleMania if he keeps the
yeah.
title? So I'm not coming up with different feuds
Okay.
he could do
I
if he
was
keeps the
saying
title.
both ends, but you're
Yeah.
talking about keeping it because now he's not going to mid card. He's bringing Dominic up, and not
Yeah, and honestly, Punk's been doing a good ass job with the title reign so far, with like the title defenses and how relevant he's making the title feel, and just how the belt looks on him. It just kind of feels like the whole thing fits, the whole thing works. So it would be a shame to have him lose the title to Reigns when Reigns isn't going to be around full time. When Reigns will probably disappear after WrestleMania. Yeah, that'd be whack. Yeah, like I'm done. I'm over this whole part-time champion bullshit with the part-timers having the titles from like months at a time, years at a time. Hell, Roman's title reign that last year, Roman's title reign before he lost to Cody, between the WrestleMania where he retained and the one he lost, he only had 3 title defenses.
Oh wow!
Yeah, son. I'm not trying to go through that shit again.
I say this: if Roman wins, he has to be a heel. I think he has to be a heel because he's not going to be there all the time because he thinks he's better than everyone else. So he has to sell that I'm the heel thing. He goes in on Monday, he shows the title, I'm the greatest, and then he just disappears. I think him as a heel, as a champion, will work.
I think him as a heel again could work. And it's funny, I was listening to his interview with Michael Cole on YouTube earlier, and Michael Cole asked him what happens if Roman Reigns doesn't beat CM Punk. And his answer was, if I don't win, then there's no reason for me to be in the company anymore.
Yeah, but he said that I think it when with the whole Cody one and when he lost against Cody. He said if
When who
he
lost
said,
against Hogan?
when Roman lost against Cody at 40, before that match, he said the same thing. If I lose, I shouldn't be here anymore.
Oh no, I think what you're thinking of is that match with Cena at SummerSlam where they had the stipulation like the day before, like if Roman
No,
loses the title to
no,
Cena, then he's not
no,
gonna.
no. He said it. He said it about the Cody match
I didn't catch that. To be honest,
because
with
he
the
lost.
feud,
Because here's the thing, Roman lost. He goes, if I lose, then I shouldn't be in the company anymore. And he did lose, and he disappeared for a while. But we all knew that he wasn't going to retire. But he did say that before he lost to
yeah, it's
Cody,
funny because the feud going into WrestleMania 40 that year was more about Cody and The Rock than Cody and Roman.
which we never got a conclusion to.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another one they teased. Another one that they kind of made it seem like something was going to happen. The Rock even came out in bad blood and did the throat sign like to Cody and the Roman, and yet they did jack shit with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I went back. I actually watched WrestleMania 39 earlier, and it's crazy how far they've kind of fallen off in many ways from then compared to now. like just creatively and just the energy of the crowd. Yeah, it's not the same like it was then.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out this weekend. We'll, I do believe in the company enough that while everybody complained about it, these wrestlers are going to deliver, and they're going to give you good matches. But like, listen, the build up sucked and everything. I hated it, but I gotta admit the matches were good. That's what I guarantee is going to happen.
Yeah, I can definitely yeah, I could definitely agree to that. Like, there's been a WrestleMania we went to together. WrestleMania 31 had a horrible build, but it turned out to be one of the best WrestleManias of all time. And fingers crossed, we can get the same thing this weekend. We didn't get it last year. I remember last year the build for WrestleMania being hot and cold, and the show kind of reflected that in the end. But I do admit this year does have a stronger card, stronger main event specifically, and I do have faith in the talent that they're going to be motivated to, give us a show we won't forget, and hopefully that happens.
Yep. So on that note, I mean, I think we got to wrap up right now. I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
gonna finish watching WrestleMania 3. Funny enough, the Hogan and Andre match is going into the Hall of Fame this year, and the Hogan documentary for Netflix drops on Wednesday.
and the Shawn Michaels one came out too, right? I'm missing out a lot.
Yeah, I don't have Peacock anymore, so I didn't see it. I saw his kids. I saw they had his kids on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched the Hogan one, obviously. Yeah, I don't think we've talked about Hogan since he died either. But this is gonna be the first WrestleMania without Hogan alive.
Yep.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Yeah, look, I'll say
Hey,
this. I said a lot of things about Hogan, like while he was alive, that I don't take back. Yeah, I really soured on the guy in the later years. He like really did a lot of things to turn me off. But I'll never celebrate the fact that somebody died, even if I wasn't a fan of theirs or didn't like them or thought they were a bad
yeah.
person. That's not the kind of person I'm trying to be.
Oh yeah. I mean, you shouldn't celebrate death. I mean, but you know,
There were a lot of people online who did. There were a lot of people online
yeah.
who were happy when he died, when that Charlie
Well,
Kirk dude died.
well, there's a lot of ignorant people in the world, and then once you give them the internet, they prove themselves every day to be ignorant.
Yep. Like you don't have to like them. You don't have to say RIP to them or any of that jazz, but to say like you're
Just
happy
don't
that
say
they
nothing.
died. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like if
just
you don't fuck with them like that, yeah, you don't have to say anything.
yeah,
But it was telling. It was telling though, like apparently a lot of the talent didn't want to go out for the Hogan 10 belt salute. Like apparently like Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, New Day, Paul Heyman, like none of them wanted to go out there for it.
yeah. But let me wrap up right now because these messages keep coming in and won't give
All
me a
right,
break.
cool. So yeah, we got WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday taking place from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. I wish I could have gone, but these motherfuckers are too greedy, so I couldn't afford the damn ticket. So I went to a music festival and got lost there for 3 days. So yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to the social media page, YouTube, Spotify, all that good shit. So yes, Pat, DJ 47, thank you for joining us today. Definitely had a good time having this conversation. And for DJ 47, this is Conscious Kurt with a special countdown edition of WrestleMania predictions, whatever you want to call this show. I don't even know what the damn name is. But just remember in closing, do not be an asshole and a douchebag in real life or social media because that toxic bullshit is for the birds and Nicki Minaj too. Take care.
Oh, I ain't co-signing it. What it is. Now, salute, man.